Hi, I'm Dave Cathey, the Food Dude. If you remember the 70s like I do, if you grew up in the 70s, the 60s, the early 80s, then you grew up with a taco. Just like me. It's comfort food for me. Recently Glenn Bell died. He was the mastermind behind Taco Bell, who took a simple hot dog and hamburger stand and in an attempt to do something the competition wasn't doing, he made tacos a part of our culinary landscape, for better or worse. So I'm here today to show you how to make those. I've got a mix that you can look up, a simple taco mix that you can make in advance and keep in your cupboard ready to go with some ground beef and a little bit of water, and you've got almost instant tacos. Today we're going to take it from the beginning. We're going to start with dried chilies, or sun-dried tomatoes. We're going to rehydrate them. We're going to do it the long way. So this way you kind of see how it's done. You know, it's great. I love it this way. It's not as gritty as the kind with a lot of powder in it, but highly seasoned like the US version of the taco is. So let's make us up some tacos gringos. Nice accent, huh? Start out with 5 dried chilies. They can be ancho, chamayo, cascabel, or any of the long red variety from New Mexico. Then you're going to want to de-seed them and take off the stems. Drop those red peppers into boiling water, along with 3 sun-dried tomatoes. Lower the heat. Let simmer about 20 minutes. Make sure you get all those chilies completely submerged in water. They'll fill up and sink. The whole idea is to rehydrate these peppers and tomatoes so when they come back they have a nice smoky flavor. After you've let that oil heat up just a little bit, we're going to sweat some onions. Make sure that all those onions are in the hot oil. We're going to let that sweat it out for about 4 minutes. That means our 4 minutes is up. As you can see, the onions are starting to color a little bit, and if you could smell it, oh boy, you'd want to eat it. So now we're going to add that sweet red pepper, and basically just keep it going. Keep this train going for another 4 minutes. Mix those in really good. Keep an eye on your peppers and onions as I sweat it out. You don't want them to get over sweaty. In other words, don't let them get overheated. Let them, you want them to just tenderize, basically. So if you feel like they're starting to cook a little too hot, simply turn that temperature down. You can go all the way to low if that's what you feel like you need to do. A lot of it has to do with the type of pan you're using. Alright, time to add some garlic. That smells so good. You're going to want to try this, if nothing else, just to make your house smell fantastic. You're only going to want to let that garlic sweat another couple of minutes. It doesn't need quite as long as the onions and the peppers to soften. Those dried chilies and sun-dried tomatoes have rehydrated, and they are ready to be ground into submission. So let's get that started. With about, I don't know, 1/4 cup, maybe half a cup of the chili liquid. It smells a lot like tea, which is a good sign. That means it's perfectly cooked. Now we're going to add these onions and peppers into the chili mixture. These will be nice and soft, and they'll give all that good fresh vegetable flavor and form this sauce the way we like it to. Alright. Then we're also going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, some cumin, a little bit of sugar to try and balance it out a little bit. And give this thing a few pulses and it'll be ready to go. 3, 2, 1, flavor. So the last thing we're going to do is add about a cup of that chili liquid that we had left over. And that will give us the body that we're looking for. Okay. All right, now we're browning some ground beef. 80-20 is what I use, ground sirloin for tacos. Okay, and while that's happening, I've got the seasoning sauce back in the saucepan. I've added about a half cup more of the chili liquid to it. I'm letting that come up to a boil. Then I'm going to let it simmer while I wait for this meat to brown. Then I'm going to drain this meat very good. Clean out the pan. By the time that the meat is browned, drained, beaten, I like to crush it up so it's very, very fine as I can get it. By the time I'm done with that process, this sauce will be completely cut through and combined, so that really all I've got to do is mix it back into the meat, maybe with a little flour to thicken it up. Simmer 5 to 7 minutes, tops 10 minutes, and it'll be ready to eat. All right, so there you have it. It's a little bit of a process. Doesn't take all that long though. You can get this done inside an hour. This will keep for a long time. You can freeze it. Like I mentioned, this goes well with a lot of things. But what does the final product look like? Just so happens I have here, like I do most days, a taco handy. Let's try it out. That's what I'm talking about. Great stuff. For this recipe, check us out at newsok.com. I've got a simpler recipe you can try out. I've got some authentic Mexican style taco recipes on the Food Dude blog. That is blog.newsok.com/fooddude. Check it out. I got this recipe. I got Mexican taco recipes. I got all kinds of stuff. Latest dining news, food news. Check us out there too. See you around.